Hello and welcome back to the Doctor Who Marathon. I'm your host McEdam, and today we're going to be talking about the Daleks. Now, as you can see, I've got it here on DVD, but I've also got the film adaptation. For those of you who don't know, America did two Dalek films where they had Peter Cushing play Doctor Who, not just the Doctor, Doctor Who, and he was a human, and it was all blah blah. I'm not going to talk about these films in this episode. If you want me to talk about it, please leave a comment down and I'll maybe get around to it later. But for now, we're doing The Daleks by Terry Nation. Parts 1, 2, 4 and 5 are directed by Christopher Barry, and the other episodes are directed by Richard Martin. There you go. I won't go into detail about each episode this time because this is a 7-part story. So if I was here talking about each individual episode and each cliffhanger like I've been doing, then we'd be here all day. I would just want to say that the first 4 episodes of this are absolutely amazing. The first episode, the Daleks are not in it. You just have our main 4 cast, the Doctor, Ian, Susan and Barbara, explore this petrified forest. Now, the cast are absolutely phenomenal here, and I like how the Doctor's a lot more selfish in this story. Now, what happens at the start is that he wants to see the city that they found, but Ian decides that it's too dangerous, so he takes Barbara and Susan back, and the Doctor reluctantly goes back. Now the Doctor has a plan where he takes out one of the components of the TARDIS and pretends that it's broken, and he forces basically them to go into the city so he can explore. Now that's a very selfish motivation, and you would never see that in a Doctor Who now with this whole space Jesus thing they're doing. So this is a Doctor with an actual character, and if you want to see a Doctor that's he's got a lot more flaws, he's got a lot more personality, I highly recommend the Daleks. This is a great story with that, and the Doctor has a huge story arc in this where he goes from being the selfish man from an unearthly child in the tribe of Gum to being a bit more heroic, to the more he's going to fight monsters as we now know him. Susan also has a story arc where she's petrified of basically everything at the start of it, from being touched in the forest to just sounds and noises and everything, and her character builds up and she becomes strong, and she's also scheming with the plans as well, and that's very clever. Episode 2 then introduces us to the Daleks. Now these are very, very smart Daleks. They plan, they scheme, they give our TARDIS crew a false sense of security, which one of them actually says. The Vicious, they attacked Ian with no hesitation. Now this is before, they don't even say exterminate in this, which you might find surprising. They don't warn you or anything. They shoot and they plan to kill. Well, they stun a few of them, but they're not as gullible as more recent Dalek stories. Episode 3 has the Thals, introduces us to the Thals. Now, this is a great place to talk about the political angle. The Daleks is about Nazis, and Terry Nation is not a subtle writer. It is clearly unapologetic about Nazis, and that's not a bad thing. You know, sometimes the best way you can get your message out is just being blunt and to say, you know what, bad is bad and good is good, you know. And because of the Daleks and what they represent, a purity complex, I believe that's the word, and they think that they hate everything that's not Dalek, and they like everything that is Dalek. So the political angle here really works, especially that the Thals are very peace-loving. They're very pacifistic. Is that the word? Where they don't fight. That's the one I'm thinking of. However, the problem is that the Thals, on their own, when they're not talking about Daleks and survival, they're not very interesting characters. Now, I think it's better than the Tribe of Gum, where in the Tribe of Gum there weren't even citizen characters where we could relate where we can see a normal viewpoint of this political angle. Here we do actually have these Thal characters, and we can see it through their eyes, the struggles, what this political tyrants, these Daleks, how it affects them. However, the Thals themselves aren't very interesting, and that's why when I was saying the first 4 episodes are really great, the last episode 5 and 6 are just not interesting. Episode 6 especially, the ambush I believe it's called, where they're in the cave, it's just completely dull. In it, Ian and Barbara split out from the team with a group of Thals, and there's no drama, nobody really doesn't get along that much. It's just a scene of them getting to one point or the other, and it's really dull. However, there is one bit I like where Ian is throwing rope, and one of the Thals is, like, you can see, he's depressed, and he throws the rope, but you can clearly see the Thals not paying attention, and the rope just hits him, and he's just staring out like that. I thought that was a really cool scene, but it's only like a few seconds. In the first half of the story, the atmosphere is phenomenal. The Dalek city, the petrified jungle, the directing is absolutely spot on. One of my favourite scenes is when Susan has to go to the TARDIS by herself, and there's thunder and lightning, and she's running, and you can see she's exhausted and she's petrified, and the atmosphere just builds and tenses until the reveal of the first Thal. However, when in the ambush in episode 6, there's just nothing. In episode 6, there's just no atmosphere. I think every dramatic scene that happens in it is just cut way too short. It's anything that's like tense, like maybe somebody's like nearly almost fallen off a cliff or something like that. It's way too short. You don't feel the danger in the scenes, you know? So, what else do I have to say about this? I mean, this is the first episode of the Daleks. It's highly recommended, just for the fact that it's the Daleks. They are very tenseful here. The voices are spot on. What else I can talk about? The actor. I think this is William Russell's best performance as Ian. There's a great scene in episode 4, I believe, where the TARDIS crew are arguing about they need to get a part that they've left in the city where the Dalek took it off them, and they need to get it, otherwise the TARDIS doesn't work. And they have an argument about trying to get the Thals to help. Now, Ian doesn't want them to help voluntarily, because it's like, why should they fight for us? And there's a great argument between him and the Doctor, and there's a great bit where he's like, why should they fight for us? What we're going to do when we're saying, oh, thank you for dying for us, this is the fuel slate, this is what all your people died for. And that was a very great intense scene, and there's just lots of bits like that, especially in the first 4 episodes and maybe in the last one. However, I think episodes 5 and 6 really let the story down. I think if you're somebody who gets bored pretty easily, I don't think this is for you. This might be the weakest Doctor Who story so far in our chronological order. I know, it's sad because it's the Daleks, you know, but there you go. So anyway, that's the Daleks. not much more to say. It's Daleks is classic, you know, it's classic Doctor Who. You should watch it, even if it's a bit long. It should have been cut down to at least just 5 episodes, in my opinion. So I hope I see you next time for The Edge of Destruction. See you again on the Doctor Who Marathon.